path towards red side. Owner did the same thing as well for T1 in the first game of their series.
They still like it.
Salty run back, baby.
We've seen this so many times in quarters where a team will just Lucian, Nami, blue side 2 games in a row. Rogue did it, Dalmon did it. I feel like that it's just become a trend where people in scrims recognize the strength of it in lane. But if you can't build the leads, the Aphelios response seems to be a reliable answer for the LPL teams.
Yeah, very, very good. You know, it's definitely a matchup that peaks with skill. Because Lucian Nami against lower skilled Aphelios Lulus definitely has been able to get the advantage, but Kanavi just playing with our hearts here. Personally, I'm looking for more variation. The Sylas is the main champion that was given up with the Viego ban.
Yep.
By pushing Kanavi out of his top 2 of Graves and Viego, they gave Yagao his highest preference champion, the most dominating mid lane champion of recency here at Worlds as well. And it's going to be a run back of the Aphelios for Hope and Missing. Now, Kanavi, as far as these hovers for the Bel'Veth, he was one of the earliest adopters of this champion, even upon release.
Faker Rise! It's one of his 3 world skins. He's bringing it back here.
They let through the Sylas to be answered by Faker's Rise. I love it, I love it, I love it. This mid lane matchup being put to the test.
It was Chovy's Rise that we saw in the quarterfinals against Dalmon that worked wonders in game 1 of their series. Largely thanks to the strong skirmishing power that it can have into certain matchups, along with its heavy roaming style. It's also not the best ultimate for Sylas to steal away. Of course, there are uses to it, but in terms of lethality, it's definitely on the lower end.
And they're really just T1 completely committing to this roam, to your pushing side lane style here with the Rise. By giving over the Sylas, you're thinking that there will be a gap there. Of course, Sylas can still steal the Realm Warp and make his moves to the side lane as well. And we'll keep track of Yagao and how he does that. He's one of the best.
And this does fit Faker's trajectory as a player. The greatest of all time, he won 3 world championships in 4 years. And in those 4 years, it was like, well, it's because I'm dominating everyone else in the mid lane. He's setting historic highs in damage and laning prowess and solo kills and crushing. And over the next 5 years of his career, still excellent, still winning trophies, still heading to the World semifinals and finals. It's been more as a leader, more as a roamer, helping out the new young guns. It's a bunch of 19 to 20-year-olds on his team. And again, it's Faker saying, I'm gonna help you guys carry.
Now we're getting so far down in the jungle pool here with the extra bans coming through with the Vi and Lee Sin. You actually are looking at things like the Bel'Veth, maybe even a Jarvan for setup for early ganks to be able to aggressively set up those lanes as you're talking about.
He's flexing his pool right now. So far at the World Championship, he has brought out one Nidalee game. I'd be surprised if we saw it. The Bel'Veth is being hovered right now, but we'll hold our breath. Will it be Yes, it will. Bel'Veth, our World semifinal.
He is quite possibly the jungler I am most confident in the whole world in pulling out this champion. As I said, one of the earliest adopters, played it in LPL Summer, played it in the playoffs.
Oh, yes.
He often
Yes! Yone for Zeus, baby! It was his most played coming into the series, and it's time for Yone Game 3.
You were talking about the Bel'Veth in terms of the consistency and reliability for Kanavi. Zeus, this was his answer to Aatrox. This was something that he's brought out as a counter. Now he's bringing it out blind, and he's saying, show me what you got, 369.
Yeah, it's one of his iconic champions, one of the preferred champions, the carry top for T1. The 18-year-old brought up through the T1 Academy system. So much faith, so much confidence put in this man.
I love it. I think it's a great call. It's a physical heavy team. Final fight needs to be played more. I love this pick.
We knew 369 went into it. So many tank top laners here because Kanavi is the focus, the carry player for JDG. And we finally get a Malphite with the recent Malphite buffs. Long time he has not been pulled out, but such a good answer for those team fights that make JDG what they are. That ultimate slamming into T1 will always give you a way back into the team fight.
I've never been this excited for a Malphite before, but not only is it great into this comp, but it's 369's Malphite. Like, he is touted as one of, if not the best top laner in the world. He had a great game 1, and now JDG are rounding out what is another fantastic team fight composition. The engage is good, the front line is good, and the back line carries and skill expression for JDG looks everything to give them a repeat of game 1.
And T1 are solo AP see. And Rapper's, brought out Belveth, was always going with this semi-tank build. The Blade of the Ruin King into then tank items later. But in Champions Queue, I saw him multiple times do the full DPS Belveth, Kraken Slayer, Blade of the Ruin King, full DPS. So I want to see if Kanavi will commit to that, or if it feels like Yagao and Hope will carry the weight.
Now, a common thing that we've seen across the world throughout this split has been this early red ward, that the delayed invade, and have a look at the junglers right now, JDG is ready for it, and they're able to get the flash out from Oner. So this was really good awareness from JDG, because again, it's something common that you'll see from any junglers, the delay on trying to drop that ward over the wall to get information. We'll now see T1 invest it on the bot side of the map instead to just figure out where Kanavi is starting, but getting the flash out from Oner is already a great start for JDG.
Yeah, and pretty common runes here from the setups from everybody, and of course Poppy going the Hex Flash, it won't hurt Poppy as much as a lot of other champions that do not take this rune. Oner starting towards the top side here. Meanwhile, for Kanavi on that Belveth, you almost always want to get your full clear off. So Kanavi starting off the bottom side, clearing up towards that top side.
No easy poke through the minions, a little damage there. The Oner indeed on the ward, getting his own blue as an early cleanse coming across there, healing a chase on down. Guma forced to flash away, and they're going for more. He's slowed, 100 health left, and JDG decides they're already winning the bot lane. Carrier trades one back, but first blood went to the AD carry.
Oh my goodness, Hope and missing, no hesitation there. You saw that level 1. Once they get the angle of the triangle here towards the brush, and Vedius, you talked about the wards into your side lanes early on here. So you see Hope and missing move up, you'll get an early ignite as well. Guma very far forward. He allowed auto attack range of both missing and Hope at the same time, while Kerio was positioned behind him. And Hope and missing, they don't hesitate. They slap him back down, they immediately punish him. So even though, yeah, Kerio gets that counter kill, it is first blood money, and it is a better site for that money to go to into the hands of the AD carry.
I will say though that this was an issue for Gumayusi during the regular season. One of the biggest criticisms that T1 had was that their bot lane wasn't as consistent, wasn't as reliable. And coming into Worlds, everyone was like, but Guma is shaking all that rust off. He does not have any of those problems.
Yeah,
but this type of aggression was some of the issues that we saw during the regular season. And I feel like that he didn't need to be that aggressive at level 1. You can see the idea, but a big mechanical blunder from him on the individual level.
Yeah, just the positioning here, Kanavi.
Stun's gonna land on a fake. Here you got Oner coming around pretty soon, but no flash means it can't help for much. Able to actually stop with the steadfast, and now tackling to a minion, getting away as well. Beautifully done to live. Faker down his flash.
He's not out yet though, Faker in enemy territory. Might have to execute to a tower.
Yeah, it spots him, and he's gonna say, you know what, the XP isn't worth it. The mid lane wave means more. Faker will execute. Nothing changed to the scoreboard, but it means he's gonna be sitting there not getting farmed.
Yeah, good little bodyguard moment for Oner coming through to peel for Faker and get him out of there, because you do not want Kanavi's Belveth getting an early kill. They still burn the flashes though, so mid jungle 4T1, no flashes at all for them, and Kanavi feels like he can go for the grab. Does have smite available.
Oh, played by Kanavi. An early smite from Oner is nowhere close to enough damage. 77 health left after the smite itself. So double crab for the JDG jungler.
So one of the things I was going to talk about was the biggest difference between Game 1 and Game 2 is that Faker, it's easier for him to get push on the rise compared to on the Galio with the Talia. But again, we saw Yagao concede those early waves to set up for that level 3 gank. We didn't get to talk about it because of the early action bot line, but you've been highlighting it throughout the series, Kobe, and how Kanavi will consistently play through mid to unlock Yagao to burn those flashes so that he can then move around on the map. So now Faker's investment towards the bot side, ideally they look to stack up the wave, look to try and set up some sort of dive onto the bot, especially without any flashes, now becomes a lot harder.
Well, as we watch ourselves go back into the jungle, make sure to grab your exclusive Very Nasa's Much Wow emote from Prime Gaming by connecting your League account with your Prime account as well. Mid lane being attacked, pretty good damage out of Faker in the mid lane, Yagao being pushed around. Woo!
It's a lot of damage.
Lance.
Of course, he does have the teleport, so he can likely just reset here. He hasn't actually spent any of his gold just yet. Faker, I wouldn't be surprised if he actually holds this wave, yeah? So he's going to set up a nice freeze, shouldn't be too much of a problem because he has the TP, so he's just going to clear the wave instead.
Meanwhile, I kind of want to point out the kind of dream scenario here for Kanavi on the Belveth, being able to win that Scuttle smite fight and then set yourself up for a reverse clear of your second clear. He goes over here, 2 Raptors, picks it up, recall on 40 CS. He's going to have a bunch of gold for his first recall here for the Belveth. Trying to stay ahead of the curve is really, really big with this champion. champion, a true jungle carry champion that wants to snowball and is going to have higher priority on getting that Rift Herald. As you know, being able to get the Remora for the pushing, huge snowball opportunity for this champion has been quite a signature pick for JDG.
It certainly has. We'll see how much he can do on the champion. The picking the pickaxe coming back onto the map. So talking about jungle, we also have to talk about top. Often JDG are a very good topside focused team. They do invest a lot early in terms of 369, but we haven't talked about this matchup at all. In terms of the early game, it often is Yone favored. He can get a lot of favorable trades. Malphite doesn't offer that much. There's a certain break point around like level 7, level 8, level 9, where he can really start winning out on the 1v1. Starting off with the Warden's Mail already will make this matchup inherently harder for Zeus to bully and push 369 around.
They got rid of all the wards, so Kanavi was not seen clearing his bottom jungle, was not seen coming down the river. Owner, though, nearby as well. There's no fight to be had. The wave is pushing towards JDG, and Owner himself now spotted by this control ward. I think he knows from his own sweeper as they roam over. They can't quite find that kill, but with a knockup, looks like it is going to be Scuttle Crab claimed for Kanavi. Level 6 as he knocks it down. Well done to him. Bubble nearly lands in a missing. That's a jump on forward, and Whimsy into a root, into a lot of damage. Heal is forced. Hope lives at the end with a heal, but now Guma pretty low. Has his own flash if needed, and Kanavi cannot reach him.
Yeah, it's actually so dangerous when Velvet has both dashes that are in the direction of your lane to be able to chase down.
Oh yeah, Now's in the way.
Both mid laners here.
Okay, it's a 4v4 down here. Is it going to be a fight though? Looks like it's going to be a wave clear. Everyone's going to make sure it's safe. And now I think Yagao got spotted. Owner sees him. Going to find some poke, but nothing more.
Yagao was spotted, which meant that T1 were hesitant to commit to that fight. Problem that Faker now faces is Yagao is on his pathway towards getting back to mid lane, which means he's going to be forced to go back to base and go the long way around. JDG will convert this pressure bot into a dragon, and they're going to emulate exactly what they did in game 1 and set themselves up to contest for that 8-minute Herald. Wouldn't be surprised to actually see them catch this wave, go back to base.
No he flashes for it, and he finds the tackle. Owner's running as fast as he can, but he's going to be slowed up, finds a flash forward, and a kill comes across. The Dragon Steel trades his life. Flash down, Gumayushi lives.
That ward inside the Dragon Pit. Owner, Hex Flash over the top. He is not giving away the objectives to JDG. And just sacrificing one kill for the Dragon is for sure worth it for Owner. Pretty big play there off the vision advantage for T1. Kanavi did get a kill, so he ultimate Velvet.
Flash forced away. That would have been maybe a kill entirely on a Faker, so damage comes across. He's rooted, presses E for the damage reduction. The Owner did actually burn the full 5-minute flash cooldown, just got it back. And so it's back to Hex Flash now, missing just barely gets away. Although I agree with your point, Kobe, a kill and a flash, you give those away for a Drake steal.
And he's thinking here, maybe I can even get out with a phase rush proc here. Poppy oftentimes, being able to get there, but Kanavi hits a really good W around the edge, even with the phase rush speed, that's allowing JDG to set up for that counter kill. So still good objective steal for T1.
Yeah, props to Owner. The downside of this means that Kanavi will have the advantage to immediately path back up. I don't think he's actually reset yet after that Drake. Yagao though, and the bot lane, as we discussed. My expectation was that JDG would take Drake, clear bot, reset, and then come back out onto the map for this objective. They didn't get the Drake, but they should be able to secure the Herald. And JDG once again demonstrating their very clean early game objective control.
Transforms again, now has the Void Remora, which means you can start knocking down some turret plates as they look towards Zeus's shade. Can't quite get that one, but now Hope set to the top side to start going for turret plates.
Yeah, they made the full commitment, recalling bottom lane, reassigning them up towards that Rift Herald to ensure you can get it for this Velvet. Recharging that timer on your ultimate form is so big, as well as giving you the extra pushing power. It does mean, though, look at Gumayushi. This Lucian has been able to stack up some CS there, push it all the way in on bottom side, and it has allowed him to get the early reset and head up towards top side to answer and collect this rest of the wave that is being pushed to his tower.
What I think is really important to recognize in this early game is T1's game plan was to, as they tried to do in game 1, get a lead in the bot side of the map and leverage this bot lane 2v2 strength to secure early objectives, in particular this first Herald. But the fact that Gumayushi died at level 1 in the 2v2 and the skirmishes that we saw on the bot side of the map made it much harder to be able to rotate around and contest these neutrals. And now you can see that JDG's bot lane is in a much better position to receive these resources. Earlier I thought Kanavi would drop the Herald up towards the bot side of the map, but I expect him to funnel that gold into this bot lane to try and keep Hope on pace or even ahead of Gumayushi.
We get damage of the ulti. Hope chunked down to about 2/3. Gets the better side of that trade as he puts his ulti down. And of course now down to cooldown as Hope's going to try to regen back up with his red gun. But low on ammo and a nice Q snipe comes across.
Also, with last game coming down to so many key objective fights and key objective steals here, T1 getting the first dragon for themselves, setting them up for possible stacking as well is really big. I think JDG, after that first game as well, they're so used to people underestimating them.
Yep.
Even though they are the LPL champions, you know, in the LPL, they are one of the least popular LPL champions of all time. Does not have the huge fan base, has a lot of doubters, and still, yet, they are the LPL's last and only hope, and 369 is tanking them.
Sidestep Zeus' first Q, gonna find the knockup now on Owner as well. He'll stay alive, they go back in for the combo. Huge damage coming across, and he's gonna find the kill to 369. Triumphs back up the health, a knockup onto the tower. Kanavi cannot finish the kill. Yagal's now on the way, walking through a ward. Will it be enough? Knows he can steal one of the ultis, but with the wave cleared away, I don't know if Kanavi can play for it anymore. Find an ult combo now onto Lulu as well. Guma getting chunked low to not keep fighting this one that was missing. Walks up, summoning heal forced out, fitted now back onto Hope. Ignite is still up for missing. Carrier can find his next bit of the combo, not just yet though. Here comes the dive, it's not gonna happen. And Yagao's locked up. Zeus finds another kill. 3-2 and T1 winning to the top lane.
The top jungle of T1 comes out on top, getting the better of Kanavi and 369. They walk away with 2 kills.
Oh, episode 1 of Top Lane God was so amazing. 369, he gets the victory in game number 1. But game number 2 here, the revenge of Zeus, gets the kill onto him as well as avoiding the tower dive there with the soul unbound. Beautiful play for him. And now, with 2 kills on this Yone, he can really show why T1 invests so much faith into all these top lane carries they pick for him. Huge, huge, huge skill peak for this champ. Take a look at this and the setup.
You can see the investment of the ultimate from 369 was just too early. Kanavi wasn't close enough to be able to turn anything around, and Zeus didn't commit any of his abilities, which meant that the second Owner was close by and 369 oversteps, they're able to get that initial kill. At this point though, JDG saying we can make the play.
God.
Great sidestep from Zeus, great flash away from the ultimate, the knock in the wall from Owner. Oh my god, and the knockup again. Exquisite mechanics from the top jungle of T1.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a god for Zeus. My god, you can't hit him with anything down there. Dodging 2 skill shots by movement and then flashing as well.
Gentlemen, I think we're in for another close game. The gold is pretty much dead even. The Herald will be dropped, which means the bot lane of JDG will find further advantages. Oh, Hope, though, takes a lot of damage.
Gale forces him, but can't find the kill, goes to the wrong target, nearly dead! Gets the shield flashed to safety. 369 would love the tower dive, but he doesn't have the target anymore. Carrier, healthy enough at 400 HP, and the first Drake was stolen by Owner. JDG committed the resource. This one, they will actually get.
Look at this ward. He's not letting it happen again. That just gave me flashbacks to the last one. They've got a ward over the back this time. They don't want to let anything go through.
They brought 369 down to the bot lane. Meanwhile, Zeus is actually in mid. Kanavi may find a bit of a skirmish here, but looks like Zeus is just going to walk that one out as Kanavi picks up that wave. The most important thing about that bot side skirmish was the fact that while Gumayushi and Carrier were struggling in the bot lane 2v2 and Hope was being funneled all this additional gold, now T1 have a very clear win condition. And sure, Yone's not going to be easy to play in the late game with the Malphite, but being accelerated is nothing but good for the T1 top side.
For the top side itself now, Yagao and Kanavi want to group up this one, down a level, but will it matter? Faker running for his life, gonna do pretty well in this one. Next knockup could be found, and it'll stop the ulti. That is a long cooldown missing, and Kanavi back to his old ways with a kill.
Kanavi eating up in the side lanes here. We were wondering, that was one of our big questions, who was going to be able to get priority. Jungle, quick attack, easy kill. And if you notice the placement of the other T1 members, nowhere else under pressure, nowhere else gained here. No momentum or answer from T1. Zeus can just shove in bottom lane, but it's fine for 369, easily able to soak it up and tank.
Clearing the ways back and forth. A 10 CS lead for Zeus as we are on the way towards the Mythic on 369's side. Blue buff taken away by Owner. Faker TV's back into the top side to clear his own way. Up farm here as well. Obviously, Jungle has a big lead on the JDG side. See how that plays for, but a very close game. Tied in gold, tied in Drakes, and once again, we have the Cloud Rift on the way to a Cloud Soul.
So in terms of where the gold is distributed, a lot of the gold advantage for JDG is actually in the jungle. You can see that Kanavi sitting at 112 CS, just slightly ahead of his own mid laner. This is pretty common for him. But as 369 secures that bot tower, and a lot of the gold is actually sitting in the hands of Gumayushi, who's not that far behind Hope, and of course in the top lane. As now Zeus looking for a bit of a skirmish. Nice sidestep there from 369.
Just wants the wave at this point. Rise coming down as well. Feels maybe a little unsafe. 2v1. It was actually the Gao diving the tower, and he's just not tanky enough. 369 holds the aggro. Shut down goes over to Kanavi, and the counter pick pays dividends in the mid game.
It's interesting because the counter from T1 is Rift Herald support push on top side, while Gumayushi he finishes the kill this time with the Gale Force.
And that is Hope dead. Missing could not give him enough support to keep him alive. Ulti actually held on. Wave comes around. 2v3 could be enough. Owner knows he can stop. Goes for the flash stun. Will it be enough? Needs to press E for damage reduction. That means he will live. This is now 3 times in a row. Owner goes for a flash. Might find himself dead. Just barely Kanavi gets out.
Wow, huge respect to Gumayushi. Even though he blundered a little bit in the early laning phase, you can see he's coming back with a vengeance. Once again, looking to be the main carry of T1 as Faker corner side lane.
No ulti for 369, which means Faker's going to feel safe. Spellbook's another ghost over and able to walk out.
Once again, T1 reclaim control of the gold lead. It's a constant back and forth between these two teams as they find picks across the board. JDG with their pick on Zeus on the bot side of the map. Meanwhile, Gumayushi finding a massive kill onto Hope in the mid lane. They couldn't quite convert it into the mid tier 1, but now already both teams are looking for the next dragon spawning in about a minute and a half.
I think we're about to see the moment that JDG have been waiting for, when they have the teleport ready for 369 and be able to get him into one of these team fights off a teleport ward, and boom, Malphite ultimate. He's been soaking up pressure this whole game, waiting for the big moment where he gets to win the team fight for his team. And T1, can they stop it? They must sweep through and clear out this vision so that they don't get surprised. Faker coming to join the rest of the team here on the rise. He's got Realm Warp available, so he could go top lane and soak it up and still be within range.
369 shouldn't have been seen, could look for an ult. He has his own flash as well, but not going to go for a tower dive. T1 still feeling safe in this one as the bot wave is pushed in. Zeus does not stay for any longer. As Malphite was on his way down, could have been roamed upon. Yagao could TP.
Honestly, it looks like he's going to commit to it. He got both towers with that Rift Herald push that we talked about last time. So there's a long open lane here, but no wards set up to support it. And really, they're just thinking about trading this bottom side dragon that is going to pull JDG's attention.
Yeah, T1 have set up for this Drake very nicely. Faker getting that deep push, as you highlighted, Kobe, along with the mid flash in.
Over the wall, Hex flash into a stun, but kind of able to jump back away. Has helped his Lulu in the end, and they're going to kill off that ward he was on.
These two wards, control wards behind the dragon, possible angles for Yagao or 369 to force the fight on T1, and this
Deep TP flank.
Here
They're both coming. All right, is it going to be enough? It's a bit of a 5-on-5, but right now, Zeus far enough away. They don't pull the trigger. Double TP is in, though, for Drake control. These might be where he wants to be on the side, but actually goes to rejoin his team. Kanavi going to set up on this Drake. Has him building towards tank, has the Aegis to keep him a bit tankier, and they're going to try to burn down this Drake with his Ruin King for healing.
So keep your eyes on Yagao in this fight. His ultimate's going to be crucial.
Idle wave catches just one. It's not going to be crucial, not going to be relevant there. Going to get the reset there on Owner's ulti now as well. Level 10 on the Poppy. Smite up on both. Can they zone out the Smite steal? It's only Hex Flash. They can spot him on the way in. Oh, the double knockup. They're going to find a team fight. Gumayushi nearly dead. Yagao on the chase, but he can't kill it. Just the Drake. T180 carry lives.
The engage is good from JDG, but T1 walk away with their lives. You can see the threat of the Wombo combo. 369 lands an engage onto 2, but then the Lulu follow-up actually hits onto 3, which almost completely wipes the backline of T1 off the face of the Rift before the fight even starts.
This series is a war between these two teams. Every single objective, another battle. As you pointed out, big engage there from JDG, and Yagao even flashing over to try and finish off that kill with the chains onto Gumayushi. Even though they don't get it though, they get the dragon. They continue their stacking for the side of JDG. Both teams not giving an inch in any of these fights.
But imagine if Owner hadn't gotten that clutch steal on the first Drake. JDG would be on Soul Point, and Zeus probably needs to be on 3 items where he's a huge threat. Otherwise he gets stopped up by Malphite. Decent damage towards Carrier. Not going to matter too much, although 369 obviously pretty much impervious to the current team of T1.
And we're about to see this mid-game. This is why we got so excited for this Malphite pick. It's not for the lane phase.
Correct, yeah.
It is for these mid-game fights here. And 369 is a monster now with both Crossfire and the attack speed AoE reduction. of that frozen heart done a massive immovable object.
The big thing as well is 369 committed his flash earlier, but he traded it for Gumayushi's. Oh, now once again with a really good stun into the wall.
Zeus coming, which means it's Shrillis run away as fast as they can. 369 might need to ult to stay alive. Harlequin's gonna wait for it. Finds his first knockup, but is it going to be enough? He'll fall to Gumayushi. Tidal wave stolen means almost nothing, and JDG this time do not find their team fight win.
We just cursed the rock right there. He's caught all alone in T1. They're not done.
They find a route. They find the follow-up. Yagao sets it up. Faker disengages the fight. A 1-for-1 though.
Gumayushi's aggression is punished. He tries to commit onto the kill for Yagao, but he oversteps one step too much, and JDG are there to punish him. A quick kill means that it ends up being a 1-for-1 exchange.
Many times are we going to see this Lucian, the furthest one forward on the T1 team of Edius. My goodness, these teams going blow for blow.
It's a short-range champ. Gumayushi has to be very careful with his positioning, and often his aggression can pay off. A champion like Lucian gives him so much individual agency in a team fight. But in a situation like that, where he's tunneling onto a single target, he ends up getting punished. Let's look back.
And let's look. It is all about this flank from Zeus. Zeus comes up the river, and 369 sectioned away from the rest of his team. He does not go back to JDG early enough. He waits for an ultimate to get the knockup here onto T1, but there's no DPS around, so he goes down. The front line no longer available for JDG. Guma wants to finish off this kill, and it's in the fog of war as well.
That was beautiful.
Really nice.
Staying close in range, knowing he's not spotted, that was so nice. What a great setup by Yagao.
That is something that you have to keep in mind as these AD carries. They're always thinking about what CC can my opponents use on me? What do they still have up? Yeah. Yagao hits him with a beautiful, beautiful snare there.
Coaching staff of JDG celebrating that pick because it neutralizes the game once more. The game continues to be dead even. The gold distributed pretty evenly across both sides. Navi being the large benefactor on the side of JDG. Look at that, 2 items fully completed. The mid diff is slowly starting to grow and grow as Faker has consistently been sitting in a side lane. Now level 14, has picked up a ton of farm and is already working on his 3rd item.
Will be a massive threat as we move forward. And stopwatches will be key for these big engages they're trying to get. Faker with the blue buff move down for a shadow play here. If you split push with Zeus and have Faker...
Sets up for Kanavi. Does he have ways out? The ulti's gonna be blocked already. He gets what he can as he tries to set it up. Gets the shield, gets out for now. But how about the next engage? E damage is pretty solid. Has to get back out though as Yagao burns his TP but does not get the kill. Zeus holds every long cooldown.
That's the TP committed though from Yagao. The only good news for JDG is that the Dragon is spawning in less than a minute. The problem is they will concede the mid wave. You can already see T1 pushing that wave up.
They want to go for Baron. They're going to double TP up there to try and trade for them.
I would.
And it's in the fog as well. They have no idea.
The realm ward.
Pings.
Oh, they spot Gumayushi. That ward is clutch, but do they have the time for it? They're running as fast as they can. It's going to be 369 TPing, and he'll buy time, but will it be enough? Kanavi needs to get into the pit. He's got so little time. Smite it away. T1 with the huge cross-map play.
Decisiveness is the key to victory for T1 here. A Baron just snatched out of the fingers of JDG. My goodness, the double teleport. They're not done either. They're going to double push up on this top side with the Baron empowered minions.
I don't know if they have the time. I think they realize they can't play for the Cloud trick. It's going to give JDG Cloud kill number 3. A flash gets away from 1, but a stolen Yoneo means he's going to go for Owner. However, top is still being pushed. Eventually, Zeus and Faker must be answered. Kanavi console the Drake. 3 can head back, but they might lose the inhibitor first. How much more will they lose? Hope is low. Can't fight for much more. Kanavi should be soloing the Dragon, but with mid pushed in, T1 could even answer that.
T1 playing the map beautifully right now, but here's the collapse from Kanavi.
Malphite sent back, missing, goes for the flash into the Whimsy. Guma does not get slowed just yet. Has to flash the ulti away, but they might want more. Yagao, force the sidestep, gets the root though. Yagao again secures the kill into Gumayushi.
Look back at the top lane though, Faker and Zeus are looking for more. They're grouped up. They know that they can kill 369 in a 2 versus 1. He doesn't have his ultimate. There's no way alone he can stop this.
They're going to hard commit to it. T1 will get this inhibitor in trade. The push and pull on this map is insane right now. JDG will get a tower plus the dragon, and recalls are going off already.
They don't know it's 3v2. They don't know they're outnumbered. Carrier sets up the CC, and 369 goes down. Zeus nearly finds his own knockup. His ulti is down. His flash is available. What a great setup from Carrier to sneak in and make that fight easy.
Now they can try and rotate towards mid lane here with the top side push, and super minions now spawning towards top side. Looks like they will do it. There is Realm Warp available for Faker.
V3, but is it enough? A great Glitterland slows down everybody. The mid wave, though, is still there. Red Bull Baron power play going to be at 1,000 gold, but also down that dragon. It is once again Cloud Soul point for JDG.
Let's just take stock of what T1 just did on the map. They recognized they couldn't take the dragon, so they TP into the fog on a minion top side so that they can't be spotted. They then realm warp into the Baron to get there as quickly as possible. They take it down using the Poppy ult to keep the Malphite out of the fight for any potential risk or stalling, and then they leverage the fact that, again, JDG want the dragon, so they commit to the top side. Faker using the Rift Herald earlier in the game so that they can just generate this constant point of pressure, which JDG have to answer, giving them access to the mid lane. Just incredible map movements from T1 here in Game 2.
It's just so smart because they're playing to their comp win conditions here. They don't want to play into that Malphite. They don't want to let the big setup from JDG happen again. The 369 plus missing, double ultimates, double knockups could be devastating, and so T1 have gotten themselves the map advantage that you're talking about. Now with Supers on top side, pushing here through the bottom side with the remnants of that Baron.
Hope's gonna take so much damage. Flash the way. Gale Force ulti. It is the second time in a row. Guma finds that one. In the bot side is a fight though. Faker attacked, but tanky for a while. Huge ulti from Zeus. Gets one, gets two, and T1, they see your 4v5, and they don't care. Under the tower, they kill two.
They rip them apart, and they're going to be able to push up mid lane with that. That's two critical carries. Yagao and Hope with very long respawn timers, two inhibitors. This early in the game will be so difficult for JDG to come back from.
They're trying to end. Look at the positioning. They're running rather far forward. Now they're going to roam warp away to play for the next side of the map with a new wave. They're going to be here for bot lane tier 2. The gold lead will balloon. The mid inhibitor is down. Top inhibitor is down. And all these turrets have been cracked.
T1 have just blown this game wide open. Unbelievable performance from them. I felt like JDG was the one dictating the pace of the game, controlling the map in Game 1, but T1 have just one-upped them here in Game 2. And look at Gumayushi getting his revenge in the 1v1 as he gets another solo kill on the Hope.
Key thing here, look at the split push for JDG. They've got Silas teleporting in now, but it was a beautiful engage, and Zeus. So it's the reason why his Yone is so feared. Sets it up for the team, doesn't hesitate, doesn't care if you're a tank, immediately engages, wraps up JDG with those extra kills. T1 pushed forward so quickly.
And that Zonya's from Faker. 10 years in the game, reflexes like Zeus. Unbelievable performance. T1 now in firm control of Game 2.
Honestly, I think the critical factor here has been the speed that T1 are throwing these questions at JDG. It is like a rapid fire test. 1 second to answer each move. Boom, they go to Baron. They burn it down. If you're slow on this, they get the Baron empowered recalls. They double commit to the push on the top side. They get the inhibitor. They consistently are forcing you into macro decisions, and there's no time to respawn.
And so much of the credit needs to be given to the T1 solo laners, Zeus and Faker. They have been running rampant on the side lanes. Their map play has been exquisite, and now they find themselves Zeus level 16, Faker level 16, level advantages across the board. They're just not going to give JDG the team fight that they're looking for.
Yeah, and now with double inhibitors down, you have such an easy time of controlling all the resources on the map. You can see it right now. They've completely wiped both jungles here of any resources for JDG to take, and if they litter the pathways through the jungle, all they have to do is retreat to Dragon, stop this Dragon Soul stacking, and JDG kind of forced to clean up all of these minions inside their base. They cannot afford to leave lest you get split pushed to death.
So the farm continues. We are on 3 out of here. Yeah, Hope has himself a Guardian Angel. Baron is up right now, and you can see T1 on the way over.
They don't care about Cloud Souls at all. They want to give up another one in exchange for the Baron. Guma trying to buy them some time, This is merely trying to push JDG away from the Baron while the rest of the team can burn it.
Clean.
You have an IE and a Zeal on Zeus. He's going to be fine to burn down this Baron. There's the vision gain. Will it be enough? Guma not hit by almost anything. Kanavi does not land the CC. So look at a mid-wave. 369 is here, but Baron is certain to be claimed. Now the question is map control, because you know their eyes are set on Dragon Soul. Good damage on a missing, got a half HP.
That was a lot of damage already onto the support, but look, T1 don't care.
Oh,
they didn't
wow.
care in game one. They have their eyes set on the Nexus, and JDG recognize it. But T1 having control over the mid wave, it is they who have the push, and guess what they can do with it? They can force JDG to back off and move to the Drake. T1 just get everything and then more.
T1 just got Baron, and JDG got 2 mid minion waves for it. Just really, really high pressure there, and Guma Yushi.
Oh, he's gonna spot him. Ulti, only gonna catch him the champion, which means they can land the CC combo, and they can find this kill on a Zeus. Now, will it be enough to do anything else, though? Because the Drake is certainly to be claimed by T1.
Yep, your life is payment for stopping the Dragon Soul stacking here. T1, they actually made a lot out of those double inhibitors being down.
Oh, yeah.
What a fun game.
Wow, I'm just so impressed with T1. I felt like coming into game 2, after what we saw from JDG in game 1, was that JDG just have a really good understanding of how to play the map, and then T1 completely usurped my expectations, and the way they've been playing these side lanes is just a joy to behold. We have 2 incredible teams competing right now.
Specifically, Guma Yushi has been playing on the edge with this
yeah.
solution. We criticize him when he gets hit with Yagao's Everfrost twice. Yagao, amazing play from him to be able to snipe him and the Fog of War play, but it's also Guma playing on the edge that has consistently killed Hope with the ultimate plus the Gale Force usage.
Oh, stealing away. Culling, gonna be some decent damage. A couple of recalls already came through, and 369 is on the flank. Keria could be 1 kill, but they want more than that one. The flash forward chains won't land. Keria will drop, but not gonna go for the ulti. On to Guma. It's Zeus who matters. They find the first one, they find the slow. The base is being attacked. Kanavi is there to defend it, and Faker's gonna get away, but that means he can reinforce the team fight. Looking for the kill onto Zeus. Missing, running for his life. Owner gonna set up for another as Guma has already gotten a double kill. And Owner's gonna set up the third. That will be a kill onto Missing. And now it's T1 against just 2. 4v2 in the base. Minions and a Baron flooding it as well. 2300 gold bonus on the power play, and now going for the Nexus turrets. T1 looking to tie up this series, and Kanavi tries to bait the CC, burns the stopwatch, flashes in, finds what damage he can, and buys a bit of time, because guess what? The LCK Hero World are stopped by inhibitors, and T1 will not find the game just yet.
Wow, T1 can't actually end because the inhibitor will in fact come back out onto the map. But what a crazy fight we just saw. JDG was setting up for the flank. They were looking to try and catch T1 in their recalls. But T1 again play it so well. They create 2 points of pressure. They force JDG to split apart. And the second that they are, Faker's Realm Warp collapses onto the team and creates a numbers advantage. This is how you play a split push comp. This is how you play against a team fight. Great execution once again from T1.
Exactly, and look how quick they answer. Teleport from 369 comes in. They want the team fight, but T1 say, we don't want the team fight. We want to pressure your Nexus. So with the teleport into the base from Faker, he forces the answer from JDG. They have to teleport out Yagao, meanwhile allowing the interrupt here, Zeus.
Oh my word.
Zeus. He interrupts the teleport. He basically kills 2, sets up the double for Guma Yushi. T1 just pulling JDG across the map, making use of their big advantage. Now Faker, though, on the run.
Jumping in by himself. Hope's going to be moving pretty fast. He'll be rooted in place, though, but the damage might not be enough. Whimsy does not find the slow afterwards.
Kanavi is going back to base. Hope is looking to get that kill on the Faker, but he's just buying time for his team as much as possible. The ultimate from Owner.
Yep, Kanavi's going to find that first kill. He's going to transform, but actually the shutdown goes through. 369 finds his engage, but cannot kill Keria. However, not going to be in threat much himself. Yagao doesn't find the root, burns Azonias. In comes Zeus, knocks down Missing, and there's the rest from Owner. Gets the second. Hope going to lose the Guardian Angel, but how about the rest? As everyone's starting to fall, Kanavi is left alone, but you can't do it by yourself. You need a team, and T1 will tie up the scoreline 1-1 in the semifinals.
Guma Yushi gets hit with 2 Everfrost early in the game, dies both times, but dodges the game-winning 3rd Everfrost. They force these Zonias, they kill Yagao. Him and Zeus destroy that last fight. What magnificent stuff from those 2 players on T1. back-to-back huge carry performances.
I think you summed it up really well, Kobe, in that Gumayushi, that level of aggression has lows, but the highs are incredible. The way in which he navigated those team fights, the way he consistently shut down Hope 1v1 in the mid lane twice throughout this game was a joy to see, along with Faker and Zeus just dancing around the JDG team.
When you play on a knife's edge, sometimes you get cut. But Gumayushi made it so worth. I'm having so much fun watching these games with you right now. Amazing series, and we even it up. Couldn't ask for anything more.
Yeah, huge out of T1 so far. A ton of homegrown talent for those